Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel Learning Point. This is Palak Jain and today we are going to study about machinery for the settlement of industrial disputes. So now we'll understand settlement machinery of industrial disputes. What are they? Collective bargaining, conciliation, adjudication, voluntary arbitration and court of inquiry. So we'll understand all these methods of settlement of industrial disputes in detail. So first method is collective bargaining. Collective bargaining is all negotiations which take place between an employer or group of employers. So collective bargaining क्या है? Negotiations जो किन के बीच होते हैं? Employer या group of employers के बीच में or one or more employers organization on one hand and one or more workers organization on the other. और किन के बीच होते हैं? one or more employers organization on one hand and one or more workers organization on the other. So that is collective bargaining. तो ये negotiations क्यों होते हैं? For determining working conditions and terms of employment. To determine working conditions and terms of employment. Regulating relations between employers and workers. So to regulate relations or to control relations of employers and workers. Regulating relations between employers organizations and workers organization. To regulate relations of employers organization and workers organization also collective bargaining is done. Establishing the system of industrial jurisprudence. So to establish industrial legal system also collective bargaining is done. Now we'll see collective bargaining process. So first step is preparation for negotiations. First we'll prepare for negotiations, then identifying bargaining issues. Then we have to identify the bargaining issue. Next step is negotiations, then reaching the agreement and then ratifying the agreement. And last one is administration of the agreement. So we'll understand all these steps in detail. So first step is preparation for negotiations. Careful advanced preparation by both the sides are necessary because of the complexity of issues and broad range of topics to be discussed during negotiations. Because the issues are complex and they are in broad range. So a careful and advanced preparation is done by both the sides. Next one is identifying bargaining issues. Now we have to identify the bargaining issue. So the major issues discussed in collective bargaining fall under following four categories. What are they? First one is wage related issues. These include topics such as how basic wage rates are determined. So it includes topics like how to determine the basic wage rate, cost of living adjustments, wage differentials, overrate rates and allowances, etc. Next bargaining issue is supplementary economic benefits. So these includes such issues as pension plans, paid vacations, health insurance, paid holidays and the like. Next bargaining issue is institutional issues. So these consist of the rights and duties of employers. So it consists of rights and duties of employers and employees, union and quality of work life program. So these are institutional issues. Next bargaining issue is administrative issues. So these include such matters as seniority, employee discipline, discharge procedures of the organization, employees' health and safety and technological changes. So next step in collective bargaining is negotiation. Preparations have been made and bargaining issues being identified. The next logical step in the collective bargaining process is negotiations. Next step in collective bargaining is negotiations. So preparations have been made and bargaining issues being identified. The next logical step in the collective bargaining process is negotiation. So after all the preparation have been made and we have identified bargaining issues, so next step is to start negotiation. Fourth step in collective bargaining is settlement and contract agreement. After an initial agreement has been made, the two sides usually return to their respective constituencies to determine whether what they have informally agreed upon is acceptable. So after both the parties have made initial agreement, they return to their respective constituency to determine that what they have informally agreed upon. So they have agreed upon something which is informal now, so whether it is acceptable or not. In this stage, the union negotiating team explains and places the agreement before the union members for a vote. So what union negotiating team does, it explains the agreement to the union members and it places the agreement before all the members for a vote. If voted, this agreement is formalized into a contract. If this agreement is voted by the union members, then it is formalized into a contract. It becomes a contract. The last step in collective bargaining is administration of the agreement. So signing the agreement is not the end of collective bargaining, rather it is the beginning of the process. So agreement is formalized into a contract. It is signed by the union members, but it is not the end of the collective bargaining, rather it is the beginning of the process. Why it is beginning of the process? Because it is made, but it is important to administer in day-to-day work. Human resource manager plays a crucial role in day-to-day administration of the contract. So role of human resource manager is very important in day-to-day administration of the contract. Next method of settlement of industrial dispute is conciliation. So conciliation is a process by which representations of workers and employers are brought together before a third party. तो कंसिलिएशन में क्या होता है, जो रिप्रेजेंटेटर्स होते हैं वर्कर्स के और एम्प्लॉयर्स के, दे आर ब्रॉट टुगेदर बिफोर अ थर्ड पार्टी with a view to persuade them. Why to persuade them? To arrive at an agreement by mutual discussions between them. तो वर्कर्स के रिप्रेजेंटेटर और एम्प्लॉयर्स के रिप्रेजेंटेटर को एक थर्ड पार्टी के सामने लाया जाता है to persuade them arrive at an agreement by mutual discussions between both the parties. The central and state governments have the power to appoint conciliation officer or a board of conciliation under the Industrial Disputes Act 1947. So the central and state government have the power to appoint conciliation officer or board of conciliation. So who have the power? Central and state government have the power to appoint conciliation officer or a board of conciliation under the Industrial Disputes Act 1947. The board of conciliation consists of equal representatives from the employers and employee. The third party is the facilitator and cannot force the involved parties to accept the decision in order to arrive at a settlement. So third party is the facilitator. Third party cannot force to accept the decision in order to arrive at a settlement. तो third party सिर्फ facilitator होती है, वो force नहीं कर सकती. During the process of conciliation, the involved parties cannot indulge in strikes and lockouts. So during the process of conciliation, both the parties cannot indulge in strikes and lockouts. Next method of settlement of industrial dispute is court of inquiry. The government has the power to set up a court of inquiry in case the matter is not resolved under the conciliation method. So, government के पास power होता है to set up court of inquiry in case the matter is not resolved under conciliation method. अगर conciliation method में matter resolve नहीं होता है, so government can set up a court of inquiry. Body is a fact-finding body that has to submit its report to the government within 6 months. So, court of inquiry is a fact-finding. So, court of inquiry is a fact-finding body, and it has to submit the report to the government within 6 months. So, court of inquiry submits its report to the government within 6 months. The aim of setting up a court of inquiry is to promote the settlement of an industrial dispute. So, what is the aim of court of inquiry? Is to promote the settlement. It promotes the settlement of an industrial dispute. Next method of settlement of industrial dispute is arbitration. So, arbitration is a procedure in which a neutral third party studies the bargaining situation, listens to both the parties and gathers information, and then makes recommendations that are binding on the parties. So, arbitration में क्या होता है? There is a neutral third party, and the neutral third party studies the bargaining situations and listens to both the parties. वो bargaining situations को study करती है and listens to both the parties and gathers information. After listening to both the parties, the neutral third party gathers the information and then makes recommendations that are binding on both the parties. So, after doing all this, the neutral third party makes the recommendations that are binding on both the parties. In this case, the involved parties represent the respective situations before the arbitrator or group of arbitrators. So, both the parties, they represent their situations before the arbitrator or group of arbitrators. Based on the information provided to the arbitrator and his investigation, he gives a judgment which is binding on both the parties. So, based on the information provided by both the parties, the arbitrator investigates and he gives the judgment which is binding on both the parties. So, there are two kinds of arbitration. First one is voluntary arbitration. In this, both the parties appoint a neutral arbitrator who provides his verdict on the same. So, in this method, both the parties appoint a neutral arbitrator who is neutral, who provides his verdict on the same. The verdict is not a legal binding. तो जो verdict है वो legally compulsory नहीं है, mandatory नहीं है कि both the parties follow करें ही करें. The government of India instituted the tripartite National Arbitration Promotion Board to look into the matters of voluntary arbitration. So, government of India had instituted the tripartite National Arbitration Promotion Board to look into the matters of voluntary arbitration. Next type of arbitration is compulsory arbitration. So, in this, the government appoints an arbitrator and refers the disputing parties to them. So, in this method, the government appoints an arbitrator and refers both the disputing parties to that arbitrator. The judgment provided by the arbitrator is a legal binding on both the parties. तो judgment जो arbitrator देता है, so that is legally compulsory to accept that judgment for both the parties. And the last method of settlement of industrial dispute is adjudication. This is the ultimate or last step resort for the dispute resolution. In case the conciliation process fails, the government appoints a third party to resolve the matter. So, if the conciliation process fails, the government appoints a third party to resolve the matter. Under this, the matter may be referred to the labor courts, industrial tribunal and national tribute. So, government can refer this matter to labor courts, industrial tribunal or national tribute. So, adjudication is a three-tier system for the resolution of industrial disputes. So guys, I hope you'll find this video helpful, and if you find it helpful, then please press the like button and subscribe my channel Learning Point. You can also follow us on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe. Bye bye.